It's a beat. I swear.
Yeah, feels so good. You know, feeling so good cause I got the keys. I'm at about the hood cause I finally made it. Wanna do what I should cause I'm dedicated. I'ma read out the book and you can't debate it. I'm seeing the truth when I'm meditating. At the top of the room when I'm elevating. You feeling that doom, try to shake it. Walking up out the tomb, about to take it. Hearing the boom, ain't gonna fake it. If you know you're a fool if you fucking say it. I'm gonna chill in the back like Gary Payton. Play a bitch to the left like a lemonade. I got a cake but I never say it. Stack up the cake but I never bake it. Stack up the paper that I've been making. Nobody paper that I've been hating. I tell them that I've been connected. It's about time that I'm people like shit. I'm about to shine, I'm electric. Put all these diamonds up in my necklace. Got an element and got a factor. I'm about the light and I'm a flame. Out of the night and I'm a left. Coming up right cause I got the last. Got me shining so bright cause I got that flash. I'm the gas on the right cause I got that mess. You see it through you like a weak confession. You should been the wrong reflection. You've been praying to the wrong perception. Red and all and now it's all connected. Rome was ball and now it's all infected. I watch them fall like the young confetti. I talk when I talk like a summer shade. You fuck when I talk like I'm not a melody. They tried to lock me up like a melody. Me and Queen was getting down on the telly. Things was calling us for their belly. It was so hot in that bitch like Nelly. I was on team and I didn't sell it. I'm on that shit that you trying to sell me. You niggas fake I'ma be the real me. I had to wait till my papa sealed me. You niggas ain't got what it take to kill. You niggas ain't got what it take to feel. You niggas ain't got what it take to feel. Guess I got the chill. Just let me know when you got the bill. And I'ma let you know when I got the meal. Baby got the bag and I got the wheel. Coming right back and you got the feel. Love me never lack cause you got the deal. Shorty got my back and I got the shield. I'm just getting back when they try to steal. They know so back there about the deal. I'm about to attack cause I got the seal. I turn around and I'm reconnected. It's about time that I'm recollected. I'm about to shine cause I'm elected. All these diamonds up in my necklace. I got an element and got effective. I'm about the light and I'm reflected. Out of the light and I'm reflected.
Peace, Brother P. Welcome back to the School of Marvelous Light. Always good to have you here. Going pretty well over on this side. How's it going for you, brother? We'll be starting here momentarily. Let a few more people get in. Let the notification go out, and then we'll start.
Big squads, come back with them bands, man. Yes.
I was seeing
Glad to hear that, Brother P. All good.
Shawty but up and she thought she a teen. Most of them fucked up cause they act like they mean. I used to post up on the block with my team. Niggas put rocks between socks and they jeans. Niggas locked up in the box for they sins. Niggas start plotting, I block with my lenses. So I got smart, grab my pad and my pen. She called from the start, I won't stop the loud hits. Came up like the dark, I ain't going back in. I didn't came up too far, they go right back again. I didn't give up my flows when I gave up my sins. I came up with all and they stand on my team. And I'm out the ball in this place that I'm in. Niggas gon' call, I'm gon' say I ain't in. Niggas gon' call, I'ma say I ain't in. I had to pause and I looked at my friends. I saw your arm and I looked with that lens. Broke you apart and we could never miss. Like a shark, you see on my fin. Take you apart if you niggas offend. You throw all these water on you with these lenses. I feel like the Carter, I'm feeling like Dizzy. How the fuck you niggas not wanna be me? I got me a guy that never leave me. When they shot them shots, he came and he freed me. Took the shots off and promised to leave me. He did good shit but the promise to feed me. Taught me to fix all this karma I read. He said the bar, that's the bar I'ma reach. Extending my arms up to another teach. Niggas won't call, I'ma say I ain't in. I had to pause and I looked at my friends. I saw your arm and I looked at that lens. Broke you apart and we could never miss. I smell like a shark, you see in my fin. Take you apart if you niggas offend. You put all the water on me when he cleanse. I feel like the Carter, I'm feeling like Dizzy. Won't call, I'ma say I ain't in. Let me alone, this low out the bed. He told me I'm falling by leaving my dead. Leaving his dogs like leaving my rib. He said after calling, I called first did. Forgive me for all I be know that I did. But down to the father was all that I did. He picked me up and he made me the shit. He struck out that bitch and got caught in the mix. The club it don't fit, then we gotta quit. The guilty, they going right down in the pit. And they gon' be down in that bitch for a minute. They fighting me, this about to look like a clinic. This Harry coming out of me, he been it. He about to kick up and get out like the tennis. See that every word I said it, I meant it. I celebrating like we win independent. Celebrating like we win independent. Come back and just coming like semen. He's mad, we keep while we cutting the demons. We call on Joshua, show why they call on Jesus. We call his name, make it sound like you sneeze. We racing the bang cause it lasts for a season. I'm just glad that I got that reason. You gotta come back when a nigga start peaking. I'm gonna relax when a nigga start geeking. I'm so hard, cause my heart beat.
them bands.
Apart, then the nigga start eating. Niggas going hard, then the nigga start cheating. You can see a spark, then the nigga start leaking. But it's to the heart, then the nigga start bleeding. And then it's the part with the niggas start freaking. Niggas gonna call, I'ma say I ain't in. I had to pause when I looked at my friends. I saw your heart when I looked through that lens. You broke it apart and we could never mend. Like a shark, babe, seeing my fins. Take you apart if you niggas offend. You pour only water on me when he cleanse. You feel like a cutter, I'm feeling like these. You niggas gonna call, I'ma say I ain't in. Say I ain't in,
We'll be starting in the book of Isaiah. So y'all who are going to be following along, that's where we'll be starting. Book of Isaiah. And we'll be starting momentarily here, like I said.
Yeah, oh my oh yeah. I gotta say something on my life, so me be alright. I'm waking up, we sleeping at night. The fuck I ain't telling no lies. Selling drugs, but I keep it on lies. Yeah, got me looking like to the bed, I be living like twice. First game said I am not that nice.
Not by power, nor not by might. I'm up with the spirit of your boy one night. Wrestle with the angel, couldn't avoid that fight. Gave your boy a new name when he came into the light. I've been looking at Messiah like, tell me what it's like. He gave me the cup and I drank it like Sprite. I used to be black, now this I got a light. Praise in the sky, looking flyer to the kite. Reading Revelation with the fire in my eyes. With the fires in the sky. Left the net, I'm looking like a firefly. It's the truth, but listen to the lies. You really know, can I see the light? You only prove that you ain't too wise. You like a fool, but you think you're right. And you can see, can't see through pride. I'ma go, prove to hit you and I'm dominoes. Split the truth, I spit this so phenomenal, yeah. Selling yourself for some dollars, though. In the field, I be working blue collar on. Took it so, put it right on my collarbone. Sugar calling my name, so I followed them home. I followed them, we ended up on the throne. These niggas so quick when I put a chrome. I be with the proof when you shoot, I put the bullets on. You gotta do this in the cab, yeah, I should've known. Selling out your homie for some racks that you couldn't know. They know they hear me spit facts, they don't like the tone. But you know you never hear me lagging on the microphone. Probably cutting through the marrow, cutting through the bone. Going on the path that be narrow, cutting through the stone. I be tucking to the barrel, let my nigga go. Tryna follow in the water, we gon' leave you so fast. Tryna mess with us, I'm on your ass. Cut your mouth right checks that your ass can't cash. Tryna teach first, had to be last. Yeah, me and all my people gotta get the last laugh. Be the valedictorian of my class. Got an A++ when I finish my task.
Yeah, oh my oh yeah.
Brother Smexer P, you were asking me in an email about reincarnation, I believe. Reincarnation. I was thinking about that, and I'll just share a personal experience with you since you were one of the first ones here, and it looks like me and you might be the first ones here. But there's an experience that I had when I was in the 40 that maybe can help you shed some light on this subject that you were asking me about, because I can only speak from personal experience. Well, when I was in the 40, one particular day, I had a vision, a dream or a vision, however you want to call it, where I was laying in a tent and I was startled awake in this tent. And when I woke up, there was a woman there next to me, and there were a couple of children in this tent with me. Now, I don't know exactly what it was that woke me up at that particular moment, but I was startled awake by something. And I had a shield laying next to me and a sword. So I grabbed the shield and the sword and I run out of the tent to see what's going on around the tent. And I have this high anxiety, this high anxious energy, like this almost panic energy. And in the midst of this forest which I was in, where this tent was at, in this vision I was having, I could see some misty fog around me. And through the misty fog, I could see some people coming toward me on horseback. And as they were coming toward me on this horseback, I'm preparing myself for this fight, which I think is about to ensue with these men, right, that are coming toward me. Well, as I'm sitting there prepared to fight, the men come through the fog, and now I can see them clearly, and they look like what you would consider like a Native American chief, big headdress, body paint, face paint, um, what you would call primitive weapons, bow and arrow, stuff like that, tomahawks, stuff like that. And the area looked like a forest in America. And as I'm sitting there looking at these men, they're not attacking me, they're just looking back at me. Well, they're looking at me and I'm looking at them, waiting for this fight. I think it's about to pop off. You feel me? And I feel this stab in my kidney area in my back. I feel a stab. And I'm like, okay, I wasn't expecting that. And when I turned to look, it was the girl that was sleeping in the tent with me, the woman, and the children. One of the children, the girl, she was about 14. She's the one stabbed me. And I can feel myself bleeding out. And I'm getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And I'm like, what's going on? I feel like I'm about to die. Like I feel like I want to go to sleep or something. And I fall down on the ground and I fall down dead. And those men who were on the horses, they kind of lament over me, talking about how great of a warrior that I was, and great was the fall of this warrior. And they kind of lamented. And I'm thinking to myself, like, what does this all mean? Well, Abba eventually revealed to me what that scenario was. But like I said, since we're talking about reincarnation, a past life experience is what I was experiencing there. Decisions that I had made had led to an ultimate demise, which caused my death. This is what I was receiving from what I was looking at. It caused my death. And this time I was given grace to overcome whatever the defect was that was causing my death. And in my case, that was to overcome the woman. Because men, that is what we must overcome. That is our uh, our weakness, our Achilles heel is the woman. Our defect was listening to the woman and falling for the woman. You see? And we see that all through the Bible where the men of God have that defect. You see? And once he overcomes that defect, then he can become useful to the Father. And through that vision, that's what he showed me. That by my poor decision making, I took another man's wife to save her from him, and the children of that man were with her. And I took them to save this family from this man. You see? That was the intent of my heart, was to save them. But ultimately, it caused my demise. That man and his homies came looking for me, you see, by the vision, the men on the horses. They came looking for me and were going to kill me. But I ended up being killed by a source I didn't even expect, which was the girl, the daughter, the daughter of the man whose wife I had in the vision. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Well, brother, specifically, I'm talking to you. So do you understand what I'm saying? Through that vision, what I realized was that I had to overcome this defect in this life, or it would kill me in this life as well. You understand? So I just thought I'd give you that because that was a personal experience that I had while I was in the 40s. All right. Zenobia, shalom, shalom, Mishpachah grandson. Shalom to you as well, Zenobia. Glad to have you here at the School of Marvelous Lights. Glad to have you here. Like I said, we're going to be reading from the book of Isaiah. Where to start? Where to start? Y'all bear with me for a moment. Get my device together. All right, let's go to Isaiah chapter 1. We'll start there. Isaiah chapter 1. Now, another brother, our beloved brother Chuck, shout out brother Cut. Welcome to the live stream here. Always good to have you here amongst the little flockulators. Marvelous Light graduates, that's right. So another brother Chuck was asking about this change from the flockulators who have been at a lower state, you see, being risen up to a higher state. How will that be like for us to experience that physically, to go from the tail to the head? from the last to the first. How is that going to manifest for us? Well, in order for us to have that manifestation, we must know who we are. And so we know that what our power is so that we can come back to it and perform it, thereby having that experience that we're looking for. You see, and we're going to cover that today. So Isaiah chapter 1, we'll start at verse 1. The vision of Isaiah, the son of Amoz, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, Hezekiah, kings of Judah. So this is specific. Remember what Judah means, little flock. What do it mean? Before I continue, like I said, I want to answer for that now. Before we move forward, so I can make sure everybody at the same speed, going at the same, same pace. So Judah, what does Judah mean? All right, Zenobia said, hallelujah. Yes, I've read some of the testaments of the 12 patriarchs, and it is and has been a weakness of the Israelites, for sure. For sure. And it's about time that the Israelites understand their weakness so that they can be made strong, you see? That's what I'm here to do for the Israelites. And I know this makes people feel strange when I say that, but how did you think it had happened, guys? God always gonna send you one of your own. Now, most people of that own is not going to like the one sent to them. They're going to reject. They're going to fight against. And that's why they stay weak. You see? Because they reject the arm of salvation that is extended to them. But we don't want to reject anymore. We want to recognize so that we can come into harmony with it and get our power back, right? All right. Brother Cut says, praise of I am. That's right. That's what Judah means. So you can't call yourself a Jew if you don't praise the name of I am. See it? Now, what part of you causes you to praise? That would be your heart. Now, what does Yahushua say? What does the scripture say? Yahushua, the word. What does it say? A true Jew is one of the heart, and true circumcision is that of the heart. You see it? So now, the true Jews on the earth, wherever they may be, hiding or scattered, your power is to praise the name of I am. Since I'm of your tribe, I'm sent to you to tell you that. Now, what have I told you all is what name I cry on or call on or go to when I find myself in any strait, in any type of hard situation. What name do I call upon? What do I always say? I'll wait until you guys answer. So that this all makes sense. What I'm going to tell you today, it all makes sense when you see the answer to my question. What name do I run to in the time of trouble? That's right, Sister PQ. Glad to have you here as well. I am. That's the name I call on. I am. So a true Jew praises that name. See, he doesn't take that name in vain. A false Jew would. But a true Jew, one of the heart, who has been circumcised of the heart, will take that name now in truth. You see, that's what makes a Jew. So this is what we're talking about here. These people, Jews, you see it? To the, what does he say? The vision he had concerning Judah, see, concerning the praisers. They haven't been doing it. That makes them weak when you don't praise God. Did you know that? I mean, what did you think would happen if you didn't praise the Father? Do you think you'd have success? No. So then this is what he's talking about here. Now let's see what he says. Verse 2. Hear, O heavens, and give ear, O earth. For I am hath spoken. I have nourished and brought up children, and they have what, little flock? They rebelled against me. You see that? So now Abba's children, the one he's raised up in the way that they should go, they rebel against that way. So what the grandson is going to be telling you guys today, our people propensity is to turn away from that and not believe it. No, that's not where the power is. Okay, well, Abraham presented the power to the Israelites so that they would believe. What name did Abraham come in? When he said, God is going to send me, what name should I tell them is the God that sent me? What did God say? I'll wait and then I'll continue when I get the answer. When Moses came to the Israelites and they said, "What's the name of the God that sent you?" What did Moses say? I am patient, so I'll wait. All right, that's right. I am. Okay. Now that we all on the same page, now we're gonna continue with this message. It's gonna make perfect sense. Watch. So they have rebelled against me. Who did the children of Israel rebel against? I am. That's the name that they rebel against. Now look at the world and see if it's so. I guarantee you, you're not going to hear many people say this name, even though that's the name that Moses said. And Yahusha said, I am come in my father's name. I am come in my father's name. So did he come in a different name than I am or the same name? Came in the same name, his father's name. You see? And that's the name that I come in today. That's the name that the children of Israel rebel against, that they don't think there's any power in. So now I need you guys to hear that. If you don't think there's any power in I am, then what does that make you, what are you thinking of yourself then? That there's no power in me. There isn't any power in me. That's what you're actually telling God. But where did God tell you the power is? Did he tell you it's outside of you, or did he actually tell you it's in you? So see what it means to rebel against the power of I am, the power of God. Your power, I am your power. Look at the words. I am the Lord your God. Translation, I am your power. That's the translation of those words. I am that I am, which is your power, Israel, who you rebel against all day long. I would, like a chicken, gather you under her wings, like a hen does, but you would not allow me to. See how he's saying that? You do not believe there's any power in you. You believe there's power outside of you. That's what gets the Israelites screwed up. We are a special, unique people. You need to accept that. If you're special and unique, then do you think you do what every other nation does to find success? Do you think you fight war like every other nation does? If you're a special, unique, set apart, peculiar, look at these words he uses to describe his children. Special, unique, peculiar, set apart, separated people that he has severed unto himself. He chose you for himself. Who is that chose you? I am did. You see? Now watch this, little flock. I'm going to prove that they don't know that this is their God. They don't know that that's their power. Watch. Verse 3. The ox knows his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people doth not consider. So does Israel know his master, and does he know his master's crib? We just read. He doesn't know it. So I am your power. If he doesn't know his owner and he doesn't know his owner's crib, his master's crib, then does he know I am? Nope. See what I'm trying to explain to you all, little flockulators? The reason why the Israelites have found themselves in the case they found themselves in is because they rebel against who they are. This is why you see so-called Negro women rebel against their natural physical features. Their hair gets kinky and everything. They start to straighten it. They get scared to even come outside showing their natural hair for the most part because they're rebelling against the natural way that they are. That's rebelling against I am. And that's the proof of it. This is why we read in this same book we're reading here. We read about the daughters of Zion being haughty, walking forth, thinking that everything's all good, and yet they get a scab and baldness. It's the same book we're reading here. Because it's the same people that show forth what's the relationship of the people with God. So if you hate yourself, if you hate who you are, then don't you hate I am? Don't you? So then can you even come to God and serve God and love God? No, you can't. But there are many people who say that they do. That's why Abba says, depart from me. I don't know you. If you hate yourself, then you can't even possibly think to say that you know me. Y'all hear that? Brother P says, I always wondered why they do that. Their natural hair looks good as hell. That's the truth. Their natural hair do look good as hell. You hear what I'm saying? But they were lied to. That's the whole thing. The woman's enemy is who? Brother P, I'll let you answer it for the little flock. Who is the enemy to the woman? And then it's going to all make sense why they do it. Her shame. Okay, go back to Genesis. Who's the enemy of the woman in Genesis? What does the Bible say? Peace, Bosco John. Welcome to the live stream. Glad to have you. The serpent. That's right. Now, what is the characteristic, the number one characteristic of that serpent? What is his number one characteristic? What did the woman say about him that he had did to her? Deceive. That's right, sister. His number one trait is to deceive. So do you understand why she does it? She's tricked to think she's ugly, obviously. So who was her enemy? She thinks it's the man. It's not. The man is saying, be natural, baby. You look beautiful the way that you are. Look at me. I'm not changing mine. I'm not perming my shit. I'm not changing my curly hair. Matter of fact, I love my braids. I love my locks. I love my afro. I love myself. See all that? He tells her the truth while the devil deceives and lies. Oh, my body's not good enough. The man thinks that it is. Ask any man if he thinks that women need to have enhancements or they're fine the way that they are. How the hell did we all get here if women ain't fine the way that they are? They don't need no help looking good. Believe you me. Women look good as hell all by themselves. They don't need any help. Well, why are they getting all this help and all these enhancements? Because their enemy is not the man. It's the deceiver. Read the Bible. It'll tell you that. You see? So you have to know that. See what I mean about knowing who you are, knowing what you are, so that you can fight this battle the right way. It's like having an archer and a swordsman. Listen good, little flock. I have two warriors. One is an archer, one is a swordsman. They're both warriors, but yet they don't use the same weaponry. They don't fight the same type of way. But yet I don't know any different. So I put my archer on the front line and put my swordsman way back in the back. Will that make any sense? Or should I flip it around, knowing their stronger attributes, knowing what skills they have? Well, it's the same thing with you. We're in a spiritual war. So you got to know what you are so that you can know how to fight. Snipers fight a unique way. They be hidden. We got snipers in the School of Marvelous Light. They be hidden. They be quiet. They may be there for 2 or 3 weeks. You never even knew they were there. Then kapow. Target down. You see what I'm saying? Come out with a ghillie suit on and everything. Then you got grunts. You got people that run right to the danger without fear. So if you've seen that in natural, then you should be able to understand it spiritual, that we're warriors in the same fashion. You see? So we have to know who we are. But if you don't know your master, you don't know your owner, how the hell can you fight for your nation? You don't even know what nation you're from. You see what I mean? How can you be a patriot to a nation you don't even know where you come from? Well, a lot of Israelites don't know where they come from. Ain't that true? All right, Dan. All right. So now, back to what we was reading here. Verse 4. Watch this, little flock. Verse 4. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken I am. See, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are gone away backward. See it? So the children of Israel he calls them sinful, laden with iniquity, seed of evildoers, children that corrupt. You see it? That forsook their God. You have to understand that that's how you got in the case that you got in and why you lost everything that you did have. You see it? It was you that went astray. It was you that wasn't believing. It was you that were faithless. You see, first of all, self-accountability. Okay, it was me. Remember Eve and the serpent, like I told you. What did she do? She blamed the serpent. Well, how come she didn't say, when Abba said, did you eat of the fruit I told you not to eat? How come she just didn't say yes? How come she just didn't say that, guys? Yep, deceiver, beguiled, snake. Like y'all saying here in the comments. That's right. That's the mark of her enemy. Someone who will deceive you that you are not. Didn't I tell you guys this in the message I posted yesterday? For those who haven't seen it, I'll go ahead and rehash it so that you know. Your God is I am. So when you're born, you are good enough. I am. But along the lines, you're going to be deceived that you're not. We're going to use the woman as the example because her enemy is the deceiver. So her whole life, she's being deceived that she's not pretty enough. She's being deceived that she's not good enough. She's being deceived that her hair isn't the right texture. She's being deceived that her weight isn't the right weight. That all of the 3D outward manifestation of her is not perfect because she's dealing with an image consultant when she's dealing with the deceiver. This message is going to get more deep than I think a lot of people realize. Did you hear what I just said? Let me slow down. Since we're doing this live, let me slow down. Did you hear it when I said that her enemy is an image consultant? Now, why am I saying that? Because Yahusha said everything they do to be seen of men. So they do it to portray an image. So who taught you to portray an image? Who taught you that? Could it be the deceiver? Instead of who you actually are. We have all grown up in the world putting an image of who we are out because we were deceived. Do you hear what I'm saying to y'all? But when you know the truth of who you are, then you rest in it. And now you do have rest. You're not stressed over your hair anymore and how kinky it is and how woolly it looks. You're actually proud of it now. You're actually happy because the truth sets you free from all of that stress, hot combing and shit. See, other people don't know what I mean when I say hot comb. They don't actually even know what I'm talking about. But the Israelite woman knows exactly what I'm talking about. See how you're unique? Other women don't use hot combs. You don't wake up in the morning and you think some breakfast is cooking and you run downstairs and it's just grandma with the combs on top of the stove getting orange. Then she take it, hit it with that paper towel, blow on it, shit, smoke be coming all off, and then she take her granddaughter hair and go, right? Called hot comb. Other people don't know nothing about that. See what I'm saying, little flaccolators? Zenobia said, being deceived that she's too dark-skinned. That's right. That's another one. That's another one. You're too dark. You're too short. Your nose is too big. Your lips are too big. What did Malcolm X say? Who taught you to hate yourself? The enemy did. Because the enemy, like I said, is not. You are not. If God is I am, then the enemy of I am is you are not. Now go to Genesis and look at the one word the deceiver added. Abba says, if you eat of that tree, you shall surely die. What was the word the enemy added? You shall not. See? You shall not surely die. That's what he told her. And he deceived her, didn't he? Or was he telling her the truth when he said not? So then who's the one telling you you are not something? Now, guess what, guys? Remember I said he's an image consultant? He will only tell you you are something if what? I'll go ahead and ask you guys that real quick, and then we'll move forward. He will only tell you you are something if what, little flock? The deceiver and the image consultant, that is. He only tells you you are something if what? Brother said hair burning. Doesn't that destroy your hair? Of course it does. Of course it does. Because he wants to destroy your image. He hates it. That's the whole point of why it's happening to God's people. He wants to destroy that image. He's going to have war with her and her offspring. Isn't that what the Bible says? Her offspring have what? Melanated skin and woolly hair. The same image you read about in the last book, which is Revelation. The same image he hates. And this is for all of those who didn't know why what happened to the Negroes happened. And we used to say, why do they hate us? Just because of how we look. Or in other words, our image, because it's the image of your father. That's why you hated for it. Y'all ain't got the same daddy. That's why y'all look different. See how that's going? And people hear that, and they're only going to get caught up on the physical. The physical is assigned to teach you about the spiritual characteristics that you're dealing with. Y'all hear what I'm saying? Now, I asked the question. The question was, the image consultant or the deceiver, when will he admit to you that you are the thing you say you are? When will he admit it to you? And if you want to get a hint to the answer to that question, all you have to do is think about the world, his children. When do they accept somebody is something? When do they accept somebody is something? When what? Brother said never. Nope, not quite. Remember, he's a deceiver. So he will tell you that you are something, but he will only tell it to you when what? Think about his children. They only say something is something when what? When they are of their own. When you are not. Okay. I see where you guys are going, but it's deeper than that. So I go ahead on and give you the little nugget that I got in my pocket over here. The world tells you are something when you appear as though you are, because that's the goal of the deceiver, right? Anyone who wants to deceive you, they dress the part, sound the part, and look the part. And then when you believe they are, that's why you believe it. Correct. So then all the work they do is to appear. Isn't that what Yahusha said? They're actors. The word hypocrites. I call them hypocritas cucaracha, a hypocrite cockroach. They're actors, Yahusha said. That's all they're doing is playing a part. You're the real deal. You ain't playing. Like I be saying, I ain't playing. That's what I be saying that. I'm not no terror. I don't have to put on a disguise. I'm real. I am what I am. Isn't that my father's name? Okay then. Okay then. You see that? All right, now back to Isaiah. Verse 5. Chapter 1, verse 5. Why should you be stricken anymore? You will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. So he says, like a child. Your child be so bad, you'd be like, why should I even whoop you anymore? What's the point of whooping you if you still gonna go more straight and more straight and more straight, right? Ain't that how you gonna feel? Like, what's the point of even checking you anymore? I'm ready to just kick you out my house and kick you into the wind and say, go fend for yourself. A lot of parents have felt like that because their child was just rebellious and wouldn't listen. Well, that's what Abba says about his. You see? Verse 6, from the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds, bruises, putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. So when you live in a false life, you're trying to hold it together and paste it up together, and it's not working. It's still disgusting underneath. We're going to use that woman that's painting herself to be all up beautiful, but when she wipes it all off, her teeth are still yellow. Her bags are still under her eyes. She's still sad as hell, crying herself to sleep every single night. But when she goes out there to the world, she paints it all up. We're just using that as an example. I'm sorry if the Cinderella slippers is getting anybody, making them feel uncomfortable. We're just proving the point. You see what I'm saying? I was saying that's what happens to you when you neglect to deal with you haven't cleaned out the inside of the cup. So you still have trauma. You still have all kinds of wounds in there you haven't dealt with. You still got all kinds of childhood shit in there you haven't dealt with. So since you didn't clean that up, you just clean the outside, then you fooled people. God doesn't want people being fooled. He wants you to be truthful and deal with thy neighbor in truth. Correct? Okay, then. So since we weren't doing that, but we were covering up all of our issues that we had with a nice suit, spraying cologne on top of a corpse, like he just described here. You see? He says, your country is desolate. So the nation where we from, what happened to it? We ain't there no more. See what I'm trying to say to you, little flockulators? Now I'm using the Negroes, but it's for the whole world to learn from it. Abba did it so that everybody could understand what happens when you go astray from who you are. You lose it. You shall discontinue from the what? The heritage that I gave thee. What is your heritage? What does that mean, to lose your heritage? What does it mean? And then you look at the Negroes and you say, well, did they lose theirs? That's why. So they could show the world what happens when you hate yourself. When you hate yourself, everyone else hates you. Because as a man thinketh, so is he. But when you start to love yourself, then what happens? So you see why the attack was always to keep these people from loving themselves. Y'all know the civil rights movement. Black is beautiful. I'm black and I'm proud. Niggas rocking their afros, feeling good about who they is, feeling good about their skin color. And what happened? Put crack on them. Shit. Take the jobs away. Shit. Take all their opportunities. String them up. You know how they is. They get to killing, blowing shit up, and destroying. That's what your enemy will do to keep you down, to keep you hating yourself, to keep you fearful, to keep you stressed. Because if he can do that, then he keeps you rebellious to God, doesn't he? See why he's your enemy? It's not because of the shit he's doing. It's because he's causing you to rebel against who you are. He's causing you to rebel against your power. Y'all hear it? That's why he's your enemy. You see that there? All right, continuing. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. So while the Negroes are on the earth, like I said, I'm using it as an example. Don't nobody get all up in y'all feelings about this. When the Negroes are going on the earth in the four corners where they've been scattered, they're always wondering where their homeland is. Well, wherever you came out of, there are people in there now sitting back, drinking a mimosa, smoking a cigar. Isn't that what we just read right there? Yes, it's overthrown by strangers. They devouring it in your presence, and it is desolate. They eat up everything up in your land and take everything away because you're not accepting who you are. You're supposed to be the man in that land, but since you don't know the God that you have, which is I am, then you can't be that man in that land. If you rebel against that name, do y'all understand what I'm saying? Watch what I'm saying. I'll break it down real nice slow for anybody that may be a little confused. If I am, let's use any nation. Let's say I am a Chinese man. Then there's a land associated with that man. You understand what I'm saying? There's a landmass associated with being a China man. See, you're going to be in China. So now, if you stripped away from being in China and you're taken to a place called, let's say, Barbaria, and then they start calling you a barbarian, then can you ever be that China man who lives in China? Can you ever be him? You were him, but you lost your heritage. You discontinued from it. See what I'm trying to say? What y'all see? Okay. Nah. Verse 8, and the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Y'all hear that? Verse 9, except I am of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. So Abba was going to destroy his children just like Sodom and Gomorrah. There weren't going to be no inhabitants left. Do y'all hear that? That's how deep it is when you depart from your power. Hear the word of I am, you rulers of Sodom. Give ear unto the law of our El, you people of Gomorrah. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me? Why are y'all doing all these sacrifices to me? I've already told you you're rebellious and are not doing the thing I want you to do. So it is this day, and this is why I'm bringing y'all this message. You're getting deceived out of your power. So then if you get deceived out of your power, can you ever have the things that you truly desire? No. Like the brother Chuck was asking me, how are we ever going to have the thing that we so long for? Our own land, our own riches, our own wealth, our own good life, our own restored communities, our own oneness and harmony as a people. How will that take place? Well, we're reading it. We're reading it now, you see? Continuing. He says, y'all giving sacrifices? He says, I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and the fat of beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of he-goats. I don't delight in that stuff, but you guys keep giving it to me as if I do. So then what is Abba saying? There are people so-called coming back to the Father, but they're actually not. They're coming back with sacrifices of the hands, works of their hands, things that men say will save you. That's not going to bring you back into harmony with the Father. That's not your power. It's not anything outside of you. So men will deceive you. See what I'm saying to you? That it's about outside of you. They always have been. I use the woman as the example. Your hair isn't good enough. You need people to see you with straight hair, and then they're going to accept you. That's a lie. But you believe that, so you're doing it to prove that you've been deceived. Do you see what I'm trying to say to y'all little flaccolators? Do y'all follow this message so far? All right. So all of this blood of offerings of rams and sacrifices are things that we do. Now, I often use examples like men will tell you what to eat, the right kind of diet. They'll tell you what the right kind of clothes to wear and how you should wear your clothes. And isn't that outside of your body? Yes. So are they cleaning the inside of the cup when they tell you that kind of stuff? No. But what did Yahushua say to clean? The inside. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Watch this. Verse 12. When you come up here before me, who have required this at your hand to tread my courts, bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination to me. The new moons and Sabbaths, the calling of assemblies, I cannot. Away with it. It is iniquity, even the solemn meeting. Your new moons, your appointed feast, my soul hateth. They are a trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. Why is Abba saying all this? They think they're doing good things for God. If we do this, God to be pleased. If we do these oblations, God to be pleased. If we do this incense, God to be pleased. If we do the new moons and we do the Sabbaths, God to be pleased. If we do the solemn meeting and the new moons and appointed feasts, God to be pleased with us. How come he ain't then? He just said he's not. How come he's not? Because that's not what he wants you to do. Now, when I get into telling you guys what he wants you to do, then most people are going to become faithless and perverse and deny that that's the truth. That's all that there is to it. Many of you who hear this today may feel the same way and go, wait a minute, grandson. Are you sure that's what God's saying? I mean, didn't he tell us to do this, this, and this, and this? Did he say do this? Did that sound easy and light? Well, no. Well, then that ain't what he said. Did you hear what his son said? All right, y'all. Watch this. Verse 15, watch. And when you spread forth your hands, I will hide mine eyes from you. Listen at that. When you spread forth your hands, who you spreading them forth to? To him, he said. He said, I ain't even gonna look at you. What's making God act like this toward his people, y'all? What do y'all think it is? They say they're doing the feast, they're doing the bullocks and everything, the blood and all this stuff. How come God is turning his face away from them? Why do you guys think he is? Why do you think he's disgusted with what they're doing? Let you guys percolate and marinate on that for a minute. Why is God disgusted? Well, let's continue to read a little bit and let's see. When they spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yeah, when you make many prayers. Lord, help me, Lord. Lord, bless me, Jesus. Help your lowly servant today. Come on down, Jesus. And all of this stuff. He like, turn the station off. Ain't he? Well, let's see. Let's see what he says will happen when you start doing that. He says, you'll spread forth your hands, I will hide my eyes from you. Yeah, when you make many prayers, I will not hear. Your hands are full of blood. So what is God mad about, little flock? What's keeping us from a right relationship with God? He just told us. Brother Smexa said, because it is superficial bullshit. Correct. It's what makes it superficial. Remember what we're talking about. The deceiver is an image consultant. He's an image consultant. So what makes their worship superficial, Brother P? What makes it that way? He says you are of your father, the devil, who was a what? I'll let you guys answer it. Marvelous Life said their heart is evil. Correct. Your hearts are far from me. You honor me with your lips. Jesus, Jesus, come on down in your sweet chariot that's on fire like Elijah, and come get up. All of this nonsense. Gosh, golly. Your heart is far from me, even though your lips, man, look at them. Look at them go. Look at the lips go. Brother or sister here, I can't read that name there, Anash or something like that, says the devil was once an angel. Well, angel, what does that word mean? I told you he's an image consultant. So an image consultant, what is his job? His job is to talk to you, to give you what? Advice on what? How you appear. So who better to do that than a messenger or angel? See that? Who lies? No, it would be, people would love you if you do this. Who do you think talks like that? The whole world will love you and worship you if you comb your hair like that and dye it this color and make your teeth fake and make them look like this instead and make this change and put your chin like that and make that happen and put these clothes on and do like this. Why do you think people have image consultants? So that you'll think that they look good. Okay? It's outward because it's supposed to appeal to men. That's right. That's the only reason it's done. Isn't that what Yahusha said? That's the only reason they do everything that they do? But what does Abba judge? Does he judge your outer appearance or what you do outwardly or how well you're dressed or how straight your teeth are? Does he judge that? Who made you the way that you are? As he asked Moses, who made man's mouth? While you're judging it and critiquing man's mouth, saying whether it's good or bad, because that's what Moses did, Abba said, who are you to judge? I made his mouth, not you. Interesting. Interesting. You see that? So now that image consultant or that messenger or that angel may as well be standing next to you while you're looking in the mirror, and he's whispering in your ear, saying those things to you about how men perceive you based on how you look. God does not judge that way, but he judges the hidden man of the heart. Is that not what it say? Okay, I'm gonna keep on saying it so y'all can get it. So when he says you are of your father, then you can tell that they are because they do things to be seen of men. That's how you know it. Even when they pray, they do it to be seen of men. Even when they sing, they do it to be seen of men. Even when they fart, they do it to be seen of men. Even when they pick their nose, they do it to be seen of men. Even when they comb their hair, they just do it to be seen of men. Even when they color a coloring book, they do it to be seen of men. And we can just keep on going and keep on going and keep on going because it doesn't matter what they do. They do it to be seen of men. Now, what happens to you if you do things to start being seen of God? How will you live? Stop for a second, percolate, and I'll let you guys answer that before I move forward. If now you don't care about men's judgment, but now you care about God's judgment, how will you live? Will you start changing things about yourself outwardly? Look how it goes. I got the world in a trick bag and I love it because that's all they've ever been telling you guys is how to change what you do outwardly. But that's not a person who judges you. The image consultant judges you outwardly. That's what he does. That's his job. Okay, maybe y'all ain't hearing the grandson. Maybe y'all ain't hearing. The same one who was talking to Yahushua when he fasted 40 days and 40 nights. Oh yeah, I know all about that guy. And what was he saying to Yahushua in 40 days and 40 nights? If you fall down and worship me, in other words, if you take my advice, then everybody will fall down and worship you. They'll love you. You'll be a king. You'll have all the kingdoms of the world. Isn't that what he said? If you fall and worship me. And then where else did he take him after that? He took him to the pinnacle of the temple. Why did he take him there? Because the temple was corrupt, as we saw when we read Isaiah here, and it says that they were corrupters. They had corrupted the priesthood and made it about outer appearance. So they got to come somebody to correct y'all niggas and whoop y'all ass for y'all misconduct and y'all corruption. There has to be a new priest that has a branch in his hand so that he can whoop some ass with it. Because my grandmama used to get a switch and say, that's what I'm whooping you with. It just happens to be the same people of God that use a switch when they whoop. I mean a branch. Because a branch means to purify. What did Moses use to purify the Israelites? He used the hyssop branch. Do y'all understand the lingo, the language, why it's used the way that it is? A branch purifies. Y'all see that? That's how God whoops his people. So then you think it's strange that the servant of his to come in the last days is called the branch? And then if he's the branch, then you know he got a whooping coming out of his mouth when he talk. It's gonna feel like he whooping you, like he's smacking you with that branch. That's how it feels. That's how you know you got the right guy. That's how you know you got the right guy. He convict you heavily. He make you feel real fucking irritated about the shit you done did. That's how you know you got the right guy, because he's purging it out of you. You see what I'm saying to you? You see? So that's what I do. I purge wrong thoughts out of a person. If they have them when they come, they will either run away from me. If they stay, they're going to have them purged out, and new ones are going to be put in its place. You see that? All right. Watch this little flop. So he says, your hands are full of blood. Verse 16. Wash you, make you clean. Put away the evil of your doings from before mine eyes, and cease to do evil. So when he says wash you and make you clean, do you think he means the outside? Yahushua told you what he wanted you to wash, the inside. Do you notice it's the same name as this book we're reading, which is Isaiah, which means God avenges, or I am the avenger, or I am the deliverer. That's what that name means. So if you want to know how to get delivered, this is what that's just telling you this. This is why I'm telling it to you. See what I'm saying, little flop? So that we can be delivered out of the case that we found ourselves in, which is the being scattered. You see? He says, wash you, make you clean. So what you need to clean? You need to clean your hearts. Rend your heart and not your garment. Where did I get that from? Where did I get that from? Did I just make that up? Let's see. Let's make a little hop, skip, and a jump to Joel chapter 20 real quick to get a side note. All right. Joel chapter 2, verse 12. Watch this. In Isaiah, he says, clean, wash, purify yourself. Now we're going to get some insight into that purification here in Joel. Joel chapter 2, verse 12. Watch this. Therefore also now, says I am, turn ye even to me with all your what? With all your heart, see? And with fasting, and with weeping, and with mourning, and rend your heart, and not your garment. See how the garment is on the outside of your body? So when somebody is distressed, or in sorrow, like he says, or mourning, or lamenting, what would they do to show that? They would rend their garments. You read it all through the Bible. When Yahushua said, I am the Son of God, what did Caiaphas the high priest do? I'll let you guys answer it before I continue. When the high priest took Yahushua and asked him, was he the Son of God? And Yahushua told him his answer. What did the high priest Caiaphas do to his garment? Is there a verse in the Bible that talks about toxic relationships? Yes, a whole bunch of them. We can start right here with this one. Can light and darkness go together? Can a house divided stand? What concord have light and darkness? Or good and evil? What concord have they? Can two walk together lest they be agreed? So now, when it comes to a toxic relationship, in order for it to be what you call a relationship, you must agree. So either you're both toxic, or you're separated, or you're both healthy. That's the only way you can have a relationship. There isn't one person's healthy and one person's toxic and they have a relationship. A healthy and a toxic person cannot relate. So they can have no relations. They're either both toxic or they're both healthy. So that puts the attention back on Eve again. She can't blame anybody, because that's what this is all about, self-accountability. You see? Letting everybody catch up before I move forward. I asked the question. I was going to wait to see if I get an answer to it first. What did Caiaphas, the high priest, do when Yahushua said who he was? What did the high priest do? Gasoline 300 says, greetings from Croatia. Wow. Greetings. Glad to have you here today. All praise to the Most High, man. We worldwide here at the School of Marvelous Light. Wow. All the way from Croatia, man. Much love. Marvelous Light graduate, Brother Cut, says he tore his priest garment. Ain't that interesting, little flock? That's exactly what he did. Now, I want you to compare. Now, this is the high priest. Do you see how why one priesthood is better than the other one? Now, the Levitical priesthood, the high priest was Caiaphas. He tore his garment, okay, which we just discovered. Brother Cut admitted so that he had the answer in his pocket, and he brought it forth to the flock. So now we know he tore his garment. Now, what was supposed to happen to him for tearing his garment? He was supposed to be put to death for that. But he did it. So now let's read this verse again here. Rend your heart and not your garments. So did that high priest do what God said to do, or did he do the opposite of what God said? He tore his garment because he's rebellious and he's a corrupter, and that priesthood must move out of the way and make room for a better one. A lot of people don't like that and can't accept that. They can't accept that. But it doesn't matter if they can accept it or not. That is what's true. All right. So Abba says, rend your heart, not your garment. Turn unto I am your power. There's that line I was telling you guys about. The Lord your God means I am your power. Turn to I am your power, for he is gracious and merciful, slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent and leave a blessing behind him, even a meat offering and a drink offering unto I am your power. You see that? Watch this, little flock. All right. Blow the trumpet in Zion. Verse 15. Sanctify a fast. Call a solemn assembly. That's what the flockulators is about right now. It is about a solemn assembly. Solemn means serious. People that ain't playing no games, like I told you. You got Israelite camps out here that when they so-called keep a solemn feast, they're all laughing and jolly and playing and taking pictures of their outer appearance. Like I told you guys, looking at the garments that they had made for the event and everything, flashing like it's at the fucking Met Gala. Serving up dinners all made all perfectly and beautiful, like some chef made that shit. See how it's all about outer appearance, making it look good? They make Israelites go, ooh, I want to go to Passover this year. I want to go to Passover. I want to go to the gathering. You see? Vain oblations, he called it. It's all about outer appearance. That's what's got you looking at it going, ooh. Now, who told that person who did that made you say, ooh? Who told them to do that and that you would say, ooh, when they did it? Could it be that image consultant I keep telling you guys about? People will say, ooh, if you do this. Look at that damn coon over there. Ooh, look at him, guys. He's cool. Let's go be a part of that. Yeah, you go be a part of that outward appearance. I'm not of that world. Is that hard to be understood? That we are not of that world of outer appearance? Okay, then. All right, then. See where we at here, little flock. All right. So what does he say? He says, blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly. So now I got some serious people that I'm calling to the gathering to do a serious work. And what is that serious work? To do a fast. Now, this is what people get confused all about. Now, when you hear fast, what do you hear? Before I continue, I'll let you guys answer it. If somebody told you to do a fast, what do you think that would mean for you to do? And then we'll continue, because this is where it gets really important for everybody to understand this point. Since we're being called to do it, to do a fast so that we can be saved, you see? When you hear the word sanctify a fast, what do you guys think it's time for you all to do? Zenobia says, do not eat or drink anything. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you for the honesty. Y'all hear that, little flock of litters? When you hear fast, you're going to think don't eat or drink. That's the natural instinct for a human being to think when they hear fast. So if God says, rend your heart and not your garments, a true Jew is one of the heart, not one of outward appearance, then what does he mean about this fast then? Does he mean eating food and drinking anything? Or does he mean something different? Well, let's see. Sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly. Verse 16, gather the people. Sanctify the congregation. Sanctify means set them apart. How did you do that? I told you, with a hyssop branch. You sanctified the people with a branch. See how the branch is the one gathering the people to the school of marvelous light? You see how it all connecting so beautifully that it could not be made up by any man? You see? Sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth of his chamber and the bride out of her closet. Let the priest, the ministers of I am, weep between the porch and the altar. Let them say, spare thy people, O I am, and give not thine heritage, see that word again, to reproach, that the heathen should rule over them. So now we see there's some other people ruling over God's people that don't know their heritage. Now, do you see a people on the earth being ruled over by the world because they didn't know who they were? Can we all admit this so we can prove to God that we're not some heartless fucking devils that won't tell a whole nation of people the truth concerning who they are, but yet the whole world says that they love God? I'm going to just keep saying this to the world. Y'all don't love God if you will allow a people to go about not knowing who they are. How do you love God if you don't love your neighbor who you have seen? You will lie to him about who he is. You will lie to him about his race. You will lie to him about his heritage, but you love God? Come on, y'all. Let's be real here. Let's just be real here. So we see that there's heathens ruling over them. Isn't that what it says there, little flock? How are they ruling over you? By changing your image. By telling you that this is what's good. Sag your pants down to the floor. Shoot all your friends before you're even 20 years old. Get into gunfights with a Draco on the street. Catch your ops slipping. Run around all day jacking people and killing people and getting high all damn day long and fucking over people and stealing goods from people. And that's some image that's being sold to you. That is not who you are. You see what I'm saying to you? Get a 100K chain. That's right. Get you a $100,000 chain. Get you a Rollie. Now you're good. Who is that telling you that? God? You're somebody when you get a Rolex. Are you serious? The amazing thing about a man is he will literally take things out of the earth, use them to make something out of it, and then will put high value on that, even though his own body came out of the earth. But he will take something that also came out of the earth, put it on his body, and call it more valuable than his body, which his body is what came out of the earth. Is the body more than raiment? Is raiment more than the body? Who said that? Diss dead people on songs for views and 10-minute Instagram fame. That's right. That's right. That's all they're selling you is some clout. They're selling clout right now. Yeah, get you some clout. Get you some clout. Do something to go viral. Do something to go viral. What's the point of going viral if your goal is not to be seen? Being viral means a lot of people saw you. So how do you help a lot of people to see you? You talk to that image consultant. Like I keep telling you guys. Like I keep telling you guys. All right. So the heathen ruling over them, wherefore should they say among the people, where is their God? So the heathens are saying about these people, where is their God? See, that's part of being the tail, like my brother was asking me about. Man, we've been the tail, man. We've been the last for so long. When are we going to rise up and become the head? When we get the blood off our hands, when we stop rebelling against our own heritage, when you accept the truth of who you are and do this fast that we've been called to do, which I'm going to illuminate exactly what the fast is. And the world can't do it. That's why they can't enter in. They can't do the fast. You see, I told you guys, you have to do what the sinner can't do. Can the sinner stop eating food and drink for a few days? Yes. Can the sinner change how he dresses? Yes. Can the sinner changes how he sounds? Yes. Can the sinner change the way he talks? Yes. Can a sinner change the fact that he used to be an alcoholic, now he doesn't? Yes. Can a sinner change the fact that he used to smoke cigarettes, now he doesn't? Yes. Can a sinner change the fact that he used to do drugs, now he doesn't, but he's still a sinner in his heart? This is what I'm telling you guys. It doesn't change the heart to change all that outside stuff. But you have preachers telling you to only change that outside stuff. That's the image consultant that tells you to change the outside stuff. Can y'all see the children of the devil? Can y'all see them? All right then. Right then. Now watch this. Then will I am be jealous for his land and pity his people. I am will answer and say unto his people, behold, I will send you corn and wine and oil. Hear that, brother, that you was asking me about this? When we gonna have it? He just told you when. You hear that there? He telling us when. Watch this. Corn, wine, oil, and you shall be satisfied therewith, and I will no more make you a reproach among the heathen. See, you went across the earth, everybody called you names. Everybody called God's people names. Everybody called them by misnomers, by bywords, the Bible called them. It's happened all over the earth, everywhere where he sent you. But he's going to gather you back and take care of you. You see it? Because he's going to be jealous for you and pity over you. But I will remove far off from you the northern army. Okay, so you see he's going to save us and all this other stuff, right? Now, for time's sake, we're going to go ahead and jump ahead a little bit. All right. Let's go on down to verse 32 to get to hear the end of the matter. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of who shall be delivered. So I told you, Ishaya means Yah delivers, or I am the deliverer. So this is what the deliverance is, his words. He's telling them their sin so they can repent and be saved. That's the deliverance that God has given to them through a man named the deliverer, or Ishaya, as it is this day. That's my name. See how Abba does that? The name is the Savior, always going to be the same name. He changes not. It's always going to be the same. You see? And they go interchangeably. What am I saying? Yeshaya and Yahusha, or Yahushua, however you want to say it, those two names are synonymous. They mean salvation, saving, deliverance, avenging. They mean all of that. You see that? So he says, you will be delivered, for in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as I am hath said, in the remnant whom I am shall call. So there's going to be a remnant. See, just like he said in the other place, that I was going to save out and deliver them. How? They're going to call on his name. That's the only way they're going to be saved. So what is the grandson telling the whole wide world right now? To call on what? What am I telling y'all to do? Okay, wait a second. Before I say what I'm telling y'all to do, what did God say? Once you do it, you'll be delivered. What did he just say in verse 32? One thing about it, you can't go viral if you tell the truth. That's right. Because who's the God of this world? Clickety click. That's easy to understand that one, ain't it? The world loves its own. So if the liar is the God of this world, then the world loves liars. So does it love those who tell the truth? Brother P says, call upon his name. Okay, so Abba says, if you call on my name, you will be delivered. Delivered means saved out of, or taken out of one situation to another, like a baby. When the baby is delivered, it was in one habitat, a dark, warm, wet world, and now it's pulled out to a cold, bright, dry one. Correct? And you call that the delivery. So what will deliver you out of your circumstance of being a slave, of being a debt slave, and a serf? What will deliver you from that to a new state? Watch how you see what it is when you see his name. What will deliver you from one state to another? So then what will deliver the Israelites out of their slavery into the kingdom? What will do it? I'll let you guys answer it. Said they can't love those who tell the truth. The truth hurts. That's right. That's why the scripture says, have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? Now, we all say we want a friend, a mother, a brother, a sister who would tell us the truth. Well, then that means that we got to be prepared for the wound that it will cause at times. You want a brave friend. Well, a brave friend will tell you the truth, even though it may hurt you. That proves that they love you, because love rejoices in the truth. You'll thank your friend for telling you the truth and not lying. You see that? But if he lies to you, then you'll say, why didn't you just tell me the truth? Why'd you lie to me? Hear that? Raven, welcome to the School of Marvelous Light. Great to have you here today with us. So now, like I said, the Israelites are going from slavery to the kingdom. What will do it? Watch how simple it is when you see it. He says, if you call upon his name, you shall be delivered. So then what name takes you from one state to another state? Now watch how it does it. Just to prove this, watch, I'm going to give you a demonstration of how it works. As a man thinketh, so is he. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. I am a slave. I am afraid because I'm a slave. I am hungry because I'm a slave. I am lacking everything that I need because I'm a slave. See those internal thoughts? So then the state that this man will be in now is the state of a slave who has nothing, who is nothing, and will never be anything because of the state of his mind. Now let's see what changes him from that state to a king. I'm a king. I'm greatly blessed and greatly provided for. I'm greatly sustained. I'm mighty, and I'm wise and very smart and intelligent. I am a wonderful leader. Now what has changed? Those two men, one is a slave, one is a king. What is the difference? Look how you can't deny what I'm telling you all. What's the difference between those two men? And I am not going forward until the answer is there. Y'all hear me, little flock? I ain't going forward till I know y'all hearing this. What took him from that state to this state? What was the difference? Peace, Raven. Much love to you as well. Much love to you as well. Eyes to see, ears to hear, for sure, for sure. Keep calling the flock. You know I'm going to keep calling the flock. See that? Keep calling the flock. Keep doing it. A new mind, says Brother Cut. That's right. A transformation of his mind. Now, what was the difference between the two? What was the difference? Remember, we were told to not take his name in vain, right? And now that we know his name is I am, then it's simply how you speak of the Father's name determines the state that you're in. So then what is your power as Israelites? He told you to call on his name and to praise it. Are you praising God's name when you say, I am greatly sustained, I am well provided for? Are you praising I am's name when you say that? Now, are you praising I am's name when you say, I am suffering, I am a slave who has nothing? Are you praising God's name? See how that's all that it is? But do you see how the world doesn't believe that that will change anything? I don't believe that. You're telling me, grandson, that if I change my thoughts and if I change what I think and feel concerning God's name, then my circumstances will change? That's what you're telling me? I'm not telling you that. God says that. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So then why don't you think something differently in your heart other than you're a slave? Why won't you think anything differently? Because you're judging by how it looks to you. Isn't that what I've been telling you all as the damn deceiver? You are not that king. You're in a slave quarters. So how are you that king? Do y'all understand how the enemy's devices work? He only got one device in his outward appearance. So once you know that's his device, then you ain't Duke no more. But look how he's got the whole world deceived, that they didn't do something outside to clean the cup. I don't know about you guys. I like drinking out of a cup where the inside is clean. Y'all like drinking out of a cup that the outside is clean, but the inside is filthy as hell with guts and brains and nasty snot? That's the kind of cup y'all like to drink. Not me. Not me. All right. Now we're going to jump ahead to another scripture real quick, little flock, and then we're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Isaiah 58, same book. We're going to go to Isaiah 58. All right. So now we see that Abba's going to gather some people. They're going to fast. That's what he said. And they're going to call on his name, and he's going to deliver them. So then anybody who's wondering how they're going to make it in these last days and how they're going to be saved, I'm telling you how. You must come to the solemn assembly, come to the fast, do it, and call on his name in truth and praise it. And then you'll be saved out of the calamity that's to come. Isn't that easy to be understood? Wonder how many people will believe this and actually do it. We shall see. Brother Kano Rivera says Apollyon ritual about to be in effect. Apollyon means the destroyer. What is the destroyer? Who is the destroyer? I told you, not. The destroyer still kills and destroys, right? What steals you from from being the man you want to be? That you're not it. Not is your enemy. That's the destroyer that's about to destroy everybody's shit. How do you say you're safe when the economy has crashed? Because I'll be saying I am safe. I don't give a fuck about an economy. Because like Raven says here, I am not what happened to me. See? I'm not what happened to me. Shit, deceiver. You can't lie to me and tell me that something outside of me tainted me and changed me from what I am internally. I am what I am. See that there, little flock? You can't change me. Try to. Try. You're going to come up short every single time because that is my power that I run to. I am this. Now, this guy's going to try to sell me a lie. I don't care what he's selling. I'm not buying. I ain't buying it. Matter of fact, I'm going to flip his damn tables over. What about you, little flock? Y'all going to help me flip some tables up here in this world? What y'all going to do? All right. I'm a child of the King of all kings, the Lord of all lords. Me too. That's why I'm the grandson of right thought. You hear that? P says, it's funny how people will claim they believe in the Bible and in Christ, but then they immediately deny the spiritual things you tell them, of which are the core of the scriptures. That's right. That's right. And we're going to get into that too, because what does the scripture says? They always studying. They always searching for some new knowledge, but they are never able to come to the knowledge of the interesting. Zenobia says, I am no longer a slave. I am free from this sinful, wicked world. There you go. That's praising God's name, because isn't that the result that you want? To be free from this wicked, whatever y'all want to call it, sicked, dicted, afflicted, and every damn thing else. This nigga's trying to get me addicted in this sicked ass world. Y'all hear me today? This nigga's sick in the dick ass tricking ass world. Y'all hear me? But they ain't slick. That's what they ain't. But they ick. Y'all hear me today? But that's the end result you want. So then how do you obtain that? Or in other words, faith is the substance of the thing hoped for, no evidence. See, we don't need evidence. The image consultant needs evidence that you are something before he will say you are. That was the question I asked maybe about an hour ago. He needs the evidence to confirm it. We don't need evidence because we walk by faith. So then what family say here? I am free from this sinful, wicked world. I am free from this sick-ass world, y'all. See? Not I want to be or I will be. I am. And by saying that, now I feel the feelings that cause me to praise. Can y'all follow me? Can y'all stay with me? I hope you can. My bad, y'all. My device is getting low. About to die as usual. Gotta get a charge if I can. My bad, y'all. All right. All right. Isaiah 58 is where we left off, little flock. We're going to continue there. He says, cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgression in the house of Jacob their sins. Yet they seek me daily and delight to know my ways as a nation that did righteousness and forsook not the ordinance of their power. They ask of me the ordinance of justice. They take delight in approaching to El. Wherefore have we fasted, say they, and thou seest not? We were just reading in the other place why. See, they think we're doing something good. We've been fasting and seeking God daily and everything. How come God doesn't hear us? See how it's confirming what we read in the other place? Well, let's keep going. Wherefore have we afflicted our soul, and thou takest no knowledge? We didn't eat no food. We ain't drank no water. See how I asked that question earlier? What does a man think fasting is? So then if you say fast for a week and he does that, he thinks he's done something that's brought him closer to God. Now, if he hasn't, then he's going to say, God, how come you didn't come closer to me when I didn't eat and when I didn't drink any food? Now, the grandson's going to tell you why he didn't come to you when you did that. See? Watch. Wherefore have we fasted? Why have we afflicted our soul that thou takest no knowledge? Behold, in the day of your fast, you find pleasure and exact all your labors. Still working for yourself, still taking pleasure in getting things for you. See that there? Behold, you fast for strife and debate, to smite with the fist of wickedness. So you fast just to tell another man that he's weaker than you because he didn't fast the way that you did. Hey man, I fasted for 7 days straight, didn't drink any water, eat any food. That's why some people fast, just to be able to boast. For strife, in other words, you see, to cause strife. And debate, to debate about who's better than the other one, who did more days than the other one. Can you see that? To smite with the fist of wickedness. What is the smiting with the fist of wickedness? To hate your brother and tell your brother that you're better than him because you fasted more days than he did. Or you didn't eat anything, but he ate a cracker during the fast, so you're better than him. Y'all hear it today, little flockulators? Watch what he's going to say. Is it such a fast that I have chosen? A day for a man to afflict his soul? Is it to bow down his head as a bulrush, to spread sackcloth and ashes under him? Wilt thou call this a fast and an acceptable day unto I am? See? So you did all that afflicting. You did all that outward appearance looking like you're doing something. See that there? You look like you are, but you're not doing what I really want you to do. Let's see. Verse 6. Is not this the fast that I have chosen? So what fast did Abba choose instead of men? What fast did Abba choose? Let's see. To loose the bands of wickedness. Interesting. That's the first thing he wants to do. So did anybody tell you that that was fasting? That God wants you all to do? To loose the bands of wickedness. Y'all hear that? What else? To undo the heavy burdens. To let the oppressed go free. And that you break every yoke. That's what he wants. Let's continue. Is it not to deal thy bread to the hungry, and that thou bring the poor that are cast out to thy house? When thou seest the naked, that thou cover him, and that thou hide not thyself from thine own flesh? So what part of that had to do with eating anything? I'll ask you guys. The fast that God wants us to do, what part in it did he say about eating and drinking? Where did he say that part? I never told anyone I was fasting. Well, yeah, we're going to get to that too, because that was a commandment of Yahusha, right? When you fast, don't let nobody know you're doing it, because that's what the hypocrites do. You see that? So yes, of course, there will come times when it is about what you eat and drink, but that's not what we're reading about here that will reconcile us to the Father. You see that there? It's like, take a baby, for instance. I'll give you guys an example of what I mean. A little baby, a little child, if you watch them, when they don't feel good, what do they do? Other than cry. But what do they do as far as what they eat and drink? They stop. So then they're fasting and they're afflicting their soul. See, eating and drinking brings you joy to your soul. So when you afflict your soul, you're not eating and drinking. The baby's not eating and drinking. Why? Because the baby needs to become healthy again. It needs to fight to become healthy again. So it uses that energy to fight off what it's facing instead of using it to fulfill its own lust of its own heart. So then the depth and the real true spiritual meaning of fasting is that you not focus on putting your own food to your own lips, making your own heart joyful with eating and tasting and feeling all good and feeling all grand and everything. You shall fast from that, from getting for yourself, from filling your own heart full of joy and happiness and leaving your neighbors desolate of that same experience. That's what you guys haven't been doing. What do you think would make a loving God upset? That you're leaving your brothers and sisters behind. And we should leave no soldiers behind. Why should we? For the enemy to do whatever in the hell they want to do with one of our lamb's carcasses? I say thee, nay, not on my watch. You're not taking one of mine, and that's just the kind of friend that I am. I'm not going to let you touch my family, nigga, and get away with it. Not while I'm alive and can breathe. It's not going to happen. I'm coming after your ass hot like a missile. Straight up, with much zeal, nigga. That's the way I'm coming. I'll come like that for one of my sheep. You'll leave the 99 and you'll go after the one with great zeal. Y'all hear that today, little flock of ladies? Raven says the way we can talk to you. I got a Discord group. I got a link. I'll post it again on my community page. You can join the Discord, and that way we'll be able to message and communicate and talk on there for the time being. So I'll post a link to my community page, and you can check out the Discord. That'd be one way. And my battery low, little flat. Oh no. All right. Ooh, the sun beaming on me, little flock of legs, ain't it? Making it hard for me to see the screen. All right. Back to Isaiah 58. Now watch this, little flock. So he's telling you the kind of fast he wants you to do. Now let's see what he says. He says, verse 8. Then, so wait. Let's go back. So loose the bands of wickedness. That's what I want you to do. Undo heavy burdens off of your brothers. Let the oppressed go free. Break every yoke. Deal your bread to the hungry. See how it's not about putting it in your mouth? Deal it to the hungry. Take some of it and share it with those who are less fortunate than you before you fill your belly. That's the fast you're fasting from. It's from filling your own belly first. Fast from that. Now, isn't that a good fast? For everybody to stop focusing on filling their own bellies and focus on filling the belly of their brother next to them, thus getting their belly filled. Isn't that better? See why it's a suitable fast to do? But men would rather sit in their house and not eat and not even fill another person's belly, but just not eat. And he think he did a good thing. And I can understand why he thinks that's good as well. You see what I mean? But we want to do something that makes us perfect. And what makes us perfect is while we're not eating or drinking, that we give drink and give food to others while we're doing it. That makes us perfect, you see? And that's the part we were forgetting. That's the part we were not doing. And that's what caused us as a nation to fall apart. Not having brotherly love and not supporting. What else would make you fall apart? Not loving who you are. Fathers, tell your little black girl daughters, they call them black, tell your little daughters that they're beautiful, the way they came out of their mother's womb. Tell them that they're fine, the way that they're made, and that their image is beautiful, because it's your image. And if you don't think your image is beautiful, then you damn sure can't tell your daughter that she is. You hate yourself. But if you love the image that God created, then you're going to tell her to love herself. And then we'll have true healing. We won't have those wounds that we were reading about earlier, that the daughters of Zion have. Because they're getting right thought from their husband now, from their father now, from the man who's no longer being led about and led astray anymore. But he's now come back to his head, which is Christ, who's going to tell you the truth and set you free from all of those lies. Y'all hear me today, little Falcolators? Continuing. Like I said, we ain't got much further to go, just a little bit more, but I want y'all to know about this fast so you can fast properly in these last days. So he says, so breaking the wickedness, the burdens, letting the oppressed, breaking all the yokes, deal your bread to the hungry, and that you bring the poor that are cast out into your house. You hear that, little flock? That you bring them into your house, hospitality. Then, when thou seest the naked, that you cover him. So what is all this stuff that he's saying, little flock? I want you guys to tell me. Deal your bread to the poor, bring the poor man into your house that's cast out. When you see the naked, cover him. So you're fasting from taking care of your own life to now taking care of the lives of your brothers and sisters. That's all God ever wanted you to do, was take care of one another, and y'all are struggling to understand what's going on here? You're not sharing. You don't care. As long as you can scratch your ass at the end of the day, flick a damn toothpick in your teeth, talking about the steak that you just ate earlier and every damn thing, and twiddle your toes drinking a mug of beer, you think life is good. What about your brother who's on the fucking sidewalk? How come y'all don't care about y'all people? But you say you love God, like I said. Come on, guys. Come on. So clearly he's telling us that we're not caring about one another. That's what the fast we have not kept. And you can see the results of not keeping that fast in the world. That's what men have not been doing, you see? One true sky, shalom, shalom. I ain't seen you in a while. I remember you because I used to be commenting on your videos about your music. You have wonderful, beautiful music that you were posting. So good to see you here today with us at the Little Flock. All right. So watch this here, little flock. Watch this. So he says, if you do these things, something's going to happen. Now let's see if I was telling the truth here. He says, then shall thy light stop. So then, when? Then when? When you start doing the things that he told you to do. When you take care of one another. When you stop letting other nations take care of your brothers and sisters, but you take care of them. That's your responsibility. Those are your sons and daughters. Those are my brothers and sisters. So you can step on back, world. I got this. I got my people. I don't need your help anymore. As we read earlier, the heathens don't do nothing but lie to you about who you is. I'm going to tell you the truth. Plain and simple. I'm not going to lie to you. And I know they're going to hurt you every now and again because the truth hurts every now and again. But don't make me your enemy because I tell you the truth. But love me, for I got the guts enough and the cojones enough to stand up in a dark world and straight tell you the truth and don't care how nobody feel about it. Ain't that the kind of tribesman you want standing next to you on the battlefield? A nigga that's gonna do what he's supposed to do without a care about what the enemy got going on or what they think they can do to a nigga. Because all they got is lies. We the best. We the special people. We the set apart. We're the above all people that are upon the face of this earth. That's what it says. So I ain't gonna lie to you. And I'm telling you how to be, by being loving. Those are the greatest people on this earth. The lovers, the kind-hearted, the patient, the meek, the lowly, the forgivers, the ones who take all the shit, the ones that are too good for this world. Those are God's children. So he says, then shall your light break forth as the morning, and thine health shall spring forth speedily. So how fast is going to happen? Quick or slow? Your health shall spring forth speedily, and your righteousness shall go before thee, and the glory of I am shall be your reward. Do you hear it today, little flock, or do you not hear it? He gonna reward you for taking his name in truth. I am compassionate. That's a true statement of I am. So then I'm going to put that onto my wall. I am compassionate. I am kind. Stick that up there because that ain't no lie. I am patient. I am long suffering. Stick that on my wall. I am trustworthy. Put that on my wall. I am a great friend. Put that on my wall. I am a beloved father. Put that on my wall. I'm a beloved husband to my people. Put that on my wall. I am a protector and a provider and a caretaker and a knee rubber and a boo-boo kisser if I gotta be. Because I am all those things that my people need. And they need a lot. You hear that? So they're going to get a lot. You see? Watch this, little flock. Watch. Then you shall call, and I am shall answer. So they said, why weren't you hearing us, Abba, when we were calling you before? And he just told you why. So what's keeping him from answering us as a people today? The fact that we're not loving on each other, not taking care of one another, not lifting each other's burdens off, not providing protection for one another, and being a fence. That's why. So then we need to stop asking the world or those tares to love us as the little flock and love one another. Shouldn't we? If we got all this love to give, then let us give it to one another. Since they can't accept it, then let's give it to one another. Right? All right. Watch this. Then you shall call, I am will answer. You shall cry, and he shall say, here I am. See? If you take away from the midst of thee the yoke, the putting forth of the finger. What is the putting forth of the finger? Is that not what I was telling you guys about called the blame game? Yep. What do you think it means when you put your finger forth? It's your fault. He says, you can stop doing that for a change, then maybe you can love your brother. But what do Negroes do? It's the white man, it's that man, it's this man, it's that man. Stop pointing your fingers at the world. Stop. It make you look weak. It make you look like a slave and helpless. When will you realize that? Sorry, other nations. This is a personal thing between me and my people that I'm doing right now. No offense to anybody that may be listening and may not understand what I'm doing. This is a defect that the Israelites have had. You see, that need to be dealt with and need to be fixed. And that's what we're doing here today. Watch this. So he says, if you take away the yoke, the putting forth the finger and speaking vanity, see vanity, I am sick. I am stupid. I am ugly. I am not enough. I'm too dark. I'm too short. I'm too poor. I don't have this yet. I don't have that yet. I wish I had. That's all vanity and empty ass talk. That ain't gonna profit nobody. Does it? I ask you, is it profitable to speak that way? He says, if you put it away from you, that's what he just said. You stop talking like that, then what's gonna happen? Verse 10, and if thou draw out thy soul to the hungry, there it is again. Taking care of the poor, taking care of the widow, taking care of the fatherless, taking care of the starving. That's what y'all are not doing. And if you do that, then I'll listen to you. I'll answer your prayers. I will love you. I will turn to you. I don't know if they just can't hear the grandson or what. He says, if you draw out thy soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul, take care of somebody who's worse off than you. You give them the relief that their soul needs. Then, there it is again. Then, again, there it is. And if thou draw thy soul to the hungry and satisfy the afflicted soul, then shall thy light rise in obscurity. You weren't even a people. That's what obscurity means. You just gonna pop up out of nowhere and show that you are one people under love. Out of nowhere, you're gonna do it. And it's happening right now today because I'm here to announce that because I know who I be. I'm the man who named it the branch. And I'm talking to the branches because Yahushua said, I'm the true vine. You are the branches. And you're going to need somebody in the last days who's going to remind you of everything the true vine told you. That's the branch going to tell you that. Now, continuing. Then shall your light rise in obscurity and thy darkness be as the noonday. And I am shall guide thee continually and satisfy your soul in drought and make fat your bones. And you shall be like a watered garden and like a spring of water whose waters fail not. Can y'all hear this today or what? So by relieving somebody else's hurt or pain or drama or heavy burden or starvation or any strait that they go through, once you heal that in somebody else's life, Abba does it for you. more abundantly than you did it. And the more abundantly you do it, the more abundantly he does it for you. So y'all are all worried about your life and how your life will be taken care of. Israelites, your life is taken care of by giving up your life for your neighbor. That's how you prove that you're God's child, by love. And there is no greater love than that a man do what? Told you, don't play around with me, because I'll just foot sweep you niggas back to Hades. So ain't no need in running up here thinking you're going to say something that's going to confound us over here, because you're not. Y'all hear me, little flockulators? Flock of lovers. That's right, brother Cut. The flock of lovers. Y'all hear me? Thank you. I'm crying. Ain't nothing wrong with crying. That's all good. That's a sign of healing. You see it? That's why we read, tears suffice for the night, but joy cometh in the morning. See, joy come because the healing came. And the healing came because the tears came. You see? That's a sign of growth. And that's a wonderful thing. Give no thought for our own life. That's the real Israelites. That's a real warrior on a battlefield. See? That's the kind of brother or sister I want standing next to me. The one who give his life for me. And because I'm going to give my life for you. I'm not going to think about my life on that field. I'm going to think about yours. I want you to go home to your family that love you and that need you, because that's what I want. So how do I get what I want? By protecting you. By letting nobody come in our gates anymore and running us out of there no more. Nobody lying to us about a fucking trinket coming on a ship across the fucking ocean with lice and scabies all on his ass with a handful of marbles coming to us in our beautiful land saying, here, look what I have. Isn't this better than the land that you live on? You want to trade? No, bitch. No trades. How about that shit? See the kind of man that I am? I ain't going for this shit no more. I'm not. I'm a curb. You understand what a curb do? I told you that's what my mama called me. My mama called me curb. Do you know why? Because when you're driving on the street like this here, and you get to dozing off, and then all of a sudden you're about to go off onto the side of the street, maybe kill a pedestrian, you're going to hit something called the curb, and the curb is going to knock your car and make your shit do this. Boom! Oh, shit, let me wake up. Fuck! Oh, shit, I dozed off there for a second. Yeah, but you're awake now because you hit the curb. That's what happens when you hit me. See how your name is what you are? You run into me and you get your shit all rocked. They're like, oh, shit, that's a different guy there. Sheesh. You hear me? Shake your whole world up. You see? The flock of lovers. Yeah, that's dope. Give his life for his friends. That's right, y'all. Give his life for his friends. Now, we almost out of here. We almost done, y'all. All right? We've been flock of loving for a while now. We got to get rest, too. Remember that? Just as important as the work that we do. So we almost done. Y'all hang with me for a little bit longer. We'll be done here in a second. All right. So the Most High will guide you continually, satisfy you in drought, make fat your bone. In other words, He's going to take care of you because you've been taking care of your brothers and your sisters. Now, what did Yahushua say we should do? If you have done it for the least of these, then you have done it for me. Done what? He said, clothe, feed, give food to, and give drink. If you've done it for them, then you're doing it for me. So all these people that say they're doing something for Christ, but yet they're just filling their own mouth and their own belly and their own life, but yet they're not doing that for anybody else, then they're not doing anything for Christ. That's why Christ says, I never knew you. That's why. See? Because they didn't keep the fast, the solemn assembly. That's right now. It's going on right now. That's what we're doing. You see? Now watch. Verse 12, and they that shall be of thee shall build the old waste places, that you shall raise up the foundations of many generations, and you shall be called the repairer of the breach, the restorer of paths to dwell in. You stop and you hear that, little flock. You're repairing something that's broke. What was broke in Israel? The brotherhood. Let me prove it to you. Israel and Judah were once one nation under their king David. The prophecy says that they shall be king, that David shall be king to the people again, to the same two nations. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show y'all this stick that I got here. I'm always showing it to y'all now. I'm always showing it. All right? Y'all ain't seen Branch Buddy in a minute. But now, when you look at Branch Buddy here, you see that there? You see them words carved on there? That says for Judah. And on this side, it says for Ephraim, for Joseph, and for his companions. You see, for the two nations. And they shall become one stick in thine hand. You see it? One stick in thine hand. So it's about two nations becoming one stick. That's the prophecy. Well, what do you think broke that stick into two? The brotherhood was broken. So what is it being restored and repaired? The brotherhood. That's what's being restored and repaired. How? In the name of I am. We will both unify. The northern and the southern kingdoms of Israel will unify under that one banner, under their king. You see? And their king is a man whose name is the branch. I don't know how y'all feel about that, but that's what the Bible says. He shall grow up unto David, and he shall be king unto them, and sit and bear the glory. The Negroes have a king. I know that may make people feel uncomfortable, but they do. You see that? Every other nation has a leader. Y'all thought because the Negroes didn't have a land or a nation that their priestly tribes were cut off and their kingly tribes were cut off? No, they still exist. We just read it in this message. God kept a remnant. Now I'm going to prove it to y'all, okay? So I want to know if that what I'm saying is true. All right? And then we'll be done, like I said. All right. All right. Let me see where I want to go next, y'all. Let's go to okay, let's go to Matthew 19. Matthew 19, we'll start at verse 17. Okay. Now watch this little flop. Matthew 19, start at verse 17. And he said unto him, why callest thou me good? This is Yahushua speaking. There is none good but one. Now, the reason why this man called Yahushua good, and why Yahushua said, why are you calling me good? The reason why that man called him good is because he thought he was good. See that there? He thought he was good. So let's prove it. There is none good but one. That is El. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. So you see what Yahushua tells him? He says, keep the commandments. He saith unto him, which? Yahushua said, thou shalt do no murder. Thou shalt not commit adultery. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not bear false witness. Honor thy father, thy mother, and you shall love thy neighbor as thyself. So he's telling him the commandments. You see that there, little flock? Now watch what happens next. The young man saith unto him, all these things have I kept from my youth up. What lack I yet? Now remember, Yahushua said, one of the commandments there, he said, love thy neighbor as thyself. The man says, I've done it. What do I lack? Let's see. And Yahushua said unto him, if you will be perfect, so be ye perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. So was the man perfect yet, even though he had did all those commandments? He said, was he perfect yet? Of course, that answer is no. So then, what does Yahushua tell him? He says, if you will be perfect, go and sell what you have and give it to the poor. There it is again, the same fast. Give it to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. But when the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. Then said Yahushua unto his disciples, verily I say unto you, that a rich man shall hardly enter the kingdom of heaven. So the man walked away sorrowful. Why? Before I continue, I'll let you guys answer that question. Why did he walk away sorrowful? Sorrowful. What were we talking about earlier? Filling your own belly, putting stuff in your own mouth, making yourself and your own soul satisfied. See that there? So what was this man's issue? What kept him from being perfect? I'll let you guys answer that. Faith and humility versus fear and pride. That's right. I always say over here, one of our mottos at the School of Marvelous Light is what, little flock? If y'all know the motto, I'll let y'all tell One True Sky before I tell her. Zenobia said he was selfish. That's right, self-centered. So will you enter the kingdom if you're selfish? So can you keep the commandments of God and be selfish? The man said, I've kept all of these. And Yahusha said, but you're not perfect. And what kept him from being perfect was his selfishness. So then I hope you guys can put that nugget of wisdom in your pocket. That means there are many people today that will teach you about keeping God's commandments, doing the things that God would tell you to do. And that's why Yahusha said, do what they tell you to do, for they say and they do not. So they're telling you something that they themselves are not willing to do. They're hypocrites. You see it? And he says, beware of them because of their hypocrisy. What did he say? Beware of the leaven of the Pharisees. What was the leaven? It was hypocrisy. See that, little flock? Thank you, Brother P. You see that, One True Sky? That's the motto we say here at the School of Marvelous Light. Humility before honor. Because that's how we're going to get the honor we all seek. Is through that low descending state of humility. No ego. Death of the self. Because that's the goal. People are afraid of death, so then they won't go that path, will they? Nope. But it's not the death that people think that it is. The giving up of one life for the sake of another is a beautiful feeling. It's a death, but there is no better feeling than that. Than to see somebody in need, to have exactly the thing that they need, and to be able to give it to them and see that joy come on their face. You giving them that was you dead. You were dead when you did that. Don't you know it? That's why you gave up. You gave up your life to give it to them. Don't you see it? That's all God's asking us for. You won't give it up to your friend if you think you need it for your life. But if you know, I have everything that I need, then you'll give it. See, it's about the state of mind you're in. A king has everything that he needs in abundance, so he can willingly give when he's asked of it. But then he says, oh, I ain't got it, brother. Then you ain't no king, because a king got it. But look how Negroes talk to their brothers. Oh, I ain't got it, bro. I ain't got it this week. I'll let me next week. Well, then what does the Bible say? When you have good in your hand to do it, do it. Correct? See how it's going, little flock of ladies? See how it's going? All right. James 1. So far we've discovered what Abba is calling us to do. He called out elect in the hidden places where they are. Because we're hidden all over the place. And we're hated by everybody except one another. You see it? Except by one another. And that's done on purpose so that we would love one another. If we're a family, shouldn't we love one another? I say we should. Well, what better way to cause them to love one another than to cause everybody else to hate them? Okay, then. James 1, verse 27. Pure religion and undefiled before God, or in other words, perfect before God and the Father is this: to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspotted from the world. Look at that. Is it a long list of things that make you perfect and unspotted? No. What did he say? To visit the fatherless, and the widows in their affliction, to reach out to people who are afflicted. And if you do that, then you're unspotted by the world. You're doing the thing that pleases me. Is this hard to be understood? How many people have told their flock to fast in this way? Because that's what Abba's asking us to do right now. And he'll deliver us if we do that. Now, how do you know, before I end this message, last thing I'm going to say, how do you know that this is the time when Abba's going to do it? When he's going to save us? It's because of this man who's talking to you, and I'm going to prove it to you. It may make you feel funny when you hear that. Wait a minute. What do you mean because of you talking to me? I'm going to prove it to you, little flock. Okay? I'm going to prove it to you. All right? And before I get into that, I want y'all to go to Psalm real quick and read Psalm 94, verse 6. And see what you see going on there. And I'll just read it to you guys real quick for those who don't have anything to follow with. Psalm 94, 6 says, they kill the widow and the sojourner and murder the fatherless. So do you see? Now, I just happened to throw that one in there. But do you see how that's what God's focusing on? Look at these people. They're still doing the same wickedness that I'm hating from the beginning. I've told them that I hate. They still keep doing it. You can't neglect the widows. You can't neglect the fatherless and think God will bless you. Don't care what else you do. I don't care how you change your diet. I don't care how you change your clothing. I don't care how you change how you talk. I don't care what the hell you change. If you don't change the fact that you're shitting on your people, then I don't hear you. Easy to be understood, little flock? Easy? All right. Last thing, and then we'll be done. Go to Jeremiah 23. All right. Jeremiah 23. See what y'all saying down here in the comments real quick. The live chat. Zenobia said, no brotherly love. That's the problem. That's the problem. See that? Loving the wrong folks, thinking they'll love us for loving them. But no, that's right. Isn't that what the Israelites did? Isn't that what they did? We'll run to them. They'll take care of us. Abba be like, go after your lovers then. See, because Abba's the husband. He's like, go after your strange lovers and see how they treat you and see what they do. Isn't that what he says? And they don't treat us good. All the other nations, they act like they're going to treat us good. Yeah, come on over here. We'll give you affirmative action and everything. Then you come over here, next thing you know, strange fruit blowing in the breeze and all this other shit. Y'all hear me? All right then. Jeremiah 23. All right, we got a couple more verses and then we done, little flock. We're going to go ahead and get on out of here. Now, remember we had read about God casting his people away, them being scattered to the four corners. Y'all hear that? And he's going to gather them back when they decide to do the thing that he wants them to do, which is to love on one another, to take care of one another, and to do the thing that Yahushua told us to do. What did he tell us to do? That you love one another as I have loved you. That's all he said to us. Not hard. It's about loving one another, see? So watch this here. Jeremiah 23. And we'll start at verse 2. Verse 3. And I will gather the remnant of my flock. So God's gathering his flock, the remnant that he's been talking about. You see it? He's going to gather them in a specific type of way. And he calls them his flock. So if one is going to be sent to you, what is he going to call you? The flockulators or the flocker lovers? Something like that. That's right. That's probably what he's going to call you. Okay? He says, I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their folds, and they shall be fruitful and increase. They shall be fruitful and increase. Do you see those two words? Now I'm going to give you a tidbit of wisdom. You can put this in your pocket. They shall be fruitful. What is the word Ephraim mean? Or Ephraim? You can even say it that way. Ephraim, the northern kingdom of Israel. What does that word Ephraim mean? Does anybody know? I'll wait for a second to see. Does anybody know what the name Ephraim means? Because Ephraim is one of the names on this stick that I carry. See? Which represents the northern kingdom of Israel. What does that name mean? Ephraim. Wow, I'm just shocked. Panda Iran says, hi, buddy. I'm watching you from Iran. Amazing. Wonderful to have you here today. Peace to you. So glad to have you all here. There's people from all over the place, guys. Iran, Israel, Croatia, Germany, all over the earth. So you see how Abba is talking to all his children that's scattered all over the face of this earth? Do you see how it's happening right in real time? Because I see it. Wonderful to have you all here today. Peace on you all. All right. So what is the word fruitful? I just gave you guys the answer. Sorry. Well, we'll keep it moving. Ephraim means fruitful. So he says, you shall be fruitful and increase. Whose name is increase? That will be fruitful's father's name. Or in other words, Ephraim's father, who was Ephraim's father? Joseph. Joseph means to increase. Ephraim means to be fruitful. See how that's going, little flock? So he says, you shall be fruitful and increase, and I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more. See? So when you get a true shepherd, he's going to take your fear away from you. He's going to teach you how to overcome your fear. That's a true shepherd. See? A false shepherd teaches you how to be most scared. You hear me? You didn't do this. God wants you to do that. You didn't do that right. You didn't do this right. You ain't eating that right. You ain't drinking that right. You ain't dressing this right. You ain't doing this right. You ain't doing damn. Far from see. All y'all care about is blaming somebody saying they didn't do something right. Far from sees do that. You see what I'm saying? The blind leaders of the blind. They can't see. Okay. He says, I will set up shepherds over them, which shall feed them, and they shall fear no more, neither be dismayed, neither shall they be lacking. See, lacking, like the thoughts I told you you get when you get the new mind. I am greatly satisfied. Keeps you from lacking anything, right? That's right. So you shall no more be lacking, says I am. Behold, the days come. So this is a future prophecy. Saith I am, that I will raise unto David. So he's going to raise somebody up to the stature of David. David ruled over a unified nation of Israel. God is going to unify the nation. Well, when he does that, he needs David to sit on the throne over them. Let's see what he says. And I will raise unto David a righteous branch. There it is. And a king shall reign and prosper and shall execute judgment and justice where? In the earth. And in his days, so while he's living on the earth, Judah shall be saved and Israel shall dwell safely. So this is what I'm telling you guys about me, the man whose name is the branch, why the fact that I'm talking to you all about what I'm talking to you all, why it's happening. Because Abba is saving Israel and Judah, a specific people. That's why when you hear me talking, yes, I'm talking to everybody, but there's times when I'll stop and I'll say, hey, Negroes, y'all notice that? Now, do you know why? Because they're being saved from the slavery, from the disenfranchisement and every damn thing else we read about the heathens been doing to them. You see? So he's going to rise up a branch, and a king shall reign and prosper, execute judgment and justice in the earth in his days. So when he's alive, Judah shall be saved, Israel shall dwell safely, and this is his name, whereby he shall be called. I am our right thought. The Lord is I am, our righteousness is right thought. I am our right thought. That's his name. So then here comes a man out of the woodwork. Did y'all see how this is going? Out of nowhere. Comes on the earth with a loud ass voice, a real stern countenance, and a real intense energy, and says, I am the grandson of right thought, and I'm coming to tell you a specific thing that will deliver you at a specific time. Because am I? Yeah. See how that goes? See how it goes? Let's continue. Therefore, behold, the days come, says I am, that they shall no more say, I am liveth, which brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Who brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt? I am did. See? So he's going to do it this time. See how I'm coming in the same name? Ain't no lies in this. But the Lord liveth, which brought up and which led the seed of the house of Israel out of the north country, and from all the countries whither I have driven them, and they shall dwell in their own land. So you see what I'm saying, brother? They asked me this question about when we're going to have ours. Do you see how I took us through that whole message to show us how it's going to happen? And that I just happen to be the man. It's funny you asking me, because I just happen to be the man to tell you how to. Because like I told y'all, I got the keys. I got the keys. If you don't believe me, then come and see. Come and see. Okay? He says, then you shall dwell in your own land. You hear that? All right. All right. One more and then we done, little flock. One more and then we done. All right, go to Jeremiah 33. Jeremiah 33, and then we're done with this message, little flock. Boy, the sun shining on your boy brightly. Jeremiah 33. All right. Jeremiah 33, verse 6. Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. So I was returned to his people, like we said. And I will cause the captivity of who? Of Judah, like I said, and the captivity of Israel, the two sticks, to return, and will build them as at the first. See, building them back up again. And I will cleanse them of their iniquity. See that? Whereby they have sinned against me. And I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned and whereby they have transgressed. So now God is going to heal them of all their iniquities and all their sins. You see that there? The branch is going to bear witness to that, because that's exactly what happens to him. And it shall be to me a name of joy, praise, honor among all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them. And they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness and for all the prosperity that I procure into it. You see it? So when he saves his people, he's also going to make them extremely prosperous. You see that, little flock? All right. Let's jump ahead. When is he going to do this? That's the question. I'm sure y'all all want to know, when is God going to do this? Well, he's going to tell you when. Behold, the days come, says I am, that I will perform that good thing. So the good thing we all waiting for, see that? When will you do it? I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel and to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness, the grandson of right thought. See? That's the same words. Branch of righteousness literally is the grandson. The branch is the third part. Grandson is the third part of the male bloodline. The father, the son, and then his grandson. See how it's working? Right thought literally means righteousness. Righteousness literally means how to think right concerning something. What happens when you think right? It becomes a breastplate in your life that bounces all the lies of the deceiver off when he lies to you. So God sent you somebody like that so he could tell you how to be like him. Can't you hear it? It ain't hard to be understood, because that's what you need at this hour. You need a strong mind, because that's the strong mind that he gave us, that's power. But we don't think it. We think he's given us the spirit of fear, so we doubt. But he said he has not given us the spirit of fear again to doubt, but a spirit of might. Ain't that what he said? Ain't that what he said? See that? What's going on here in the chat? No way, Jose. Cut them nose hairs. You swing on the caveman. Why you all up in my nose, bruh? What you trying to find up in there? Shit, you should be listening to my voice. Too busy all up in the nigga nose. What you want to be up in the nigga nose looking for? All right, back to Jeremiah 33. Let's see. Where was we at? All right. The branch of righteousness that shall grow up unto David. There it is again. He's going to grow up into the same status as David. David represents a seat that is kingship over the unified nation of Israel. They have been without a king. You see it for a long time. Well, I was going to restore it. He just said that. And he's going to save the nation when he restores that kingship back to its king. See? Continuing. He shall grow up unto David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days, there it is again, Judah shall be saved, Jerusalem shall dwell safely, and this is the name wherewith she shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. I gave you guys the mystery as to why it says he and she, because his thoughts and feelings have become one. Like I told you guys. For thus saith I am, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. All right, y'all. So we'll go ahead and stop there, because we've been going for over 2 hours now at this point. Y'all hear that? We've been going for a while now. But glad to have y'all all here today. We're gonna go ahead and end this message right here. And I hope you guys know what Abba's called us all to do at this time, little flock. It's to be focused on loving our neighbors, because that shows that we believe what Yahushua told us, that we love one another. And that if we do this, then we'll be pleasing to the Father, and he will return his face unto us and shine on us as a people. Stop letting other people tell you who you are, and let your Father tell you who you is, because he loves you. You see that? Because I know the kind of father I am. Can't nobody tell me about my children. But I can tell them about them and tell them who they are and what they are. But nobody better else better come in trying to deceive them out of that and to tell them there's something other than what they are. Because then I'm going to get jealous for them, like we just read Abba does for us. Y'all see that little flock of ladies? So y'all be blessed today. Like I said, I'm glad to have all y'all here. Brother P said, "Thank you for your time, brother, and have a restful day." I definitely would try to, for sure, for sure. Sister One True Sky, shalom, shalom to you as well. Glad to have you here. And the rest of y'all that came through to stop by and kick it with the grandson of Right Thought, y'all be blessed today. My phone about to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. But y'all be blessed. Salawam, Israel. Hope to catch y'all again soon.